Why would you have apologized?
Because I could see how upset he was, and I didn't want him to get more mad at me.
Where does Doug go after that incident?
He continued to the garage with the box.
And what happens at that point?
We started getting into a back and forth about being done for the day and what still needed to be packed and that I wanted to be done. And we ended up in our daughter's bedroom, and he started screaming at me. He said, "Shut the up." He started calling me names. And he said, "I can see what you're doing. You're trying to get me to leave." He said, "I don't have to leave. I can stay and spend the night if I want to because I'm your husband."
At that point, Ashley, how did you feel with respect to your own personal safety?
I was scared.
Did you take any steps to try to avoid anything further?
Yes, I ran to try to leave the house.
And where did you run to?
To the front door.
Did you make it?
No.
Tell us what happened.
He stopped me. He grabbed me by the hand and he yanked me back. I'm not really sure how he did it, but he spun around so he was in front of me, between me and the door.
So
He said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
"He said, where the f*** do you think you're going?"
What was your response? Do you specifically recall? Tell us.
I just blurted it out. I said, "I'm done and you need to leave now."
What was Doug's reaction to that command to leave now?
He said, "You can't leave me."
Then what happens?
He hit me on the side of the head.
Ashley, I'm going to ask you what's been marked as Defendants Exhibit number 7. Tell us what that represents.
It's a picture of my face.
Is it an accurate picture of what your face looked like on that night?
Yes, sir.
Who took that photograph?
I don't remember her name. She
Was-
was at the sheriff's office.
At the sheriff's office? Okay. Now, what is it about that photograph that shows or reflects the slap or the hit that you got to the side of your head on that day by Doug?
That side of my face is swollen and puffy and discolored around my eye.
And is your eyelid drooping
Yes.
on the side where you were hit?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move Defense Exhibit number 7 into evidence.
Received.
What was different at that moment, Ashley, than at any time in your prior relationship with Doug?
He had never actually hit me before.
What did you do?
I ran
Where?
to my room
Why?
because I was scared.
Ashley, did you have anything in your room that could protect you?
I had my gun.
Did you grab the gun?
Yes.
As you're grabbing the gun, what, if anything, did you hear?
I heard the door hitting the doorstop.
As if it is flung open?
Yes.
And what do you see, Ashley, when you look up?
Doug was standing in the doorway. His face was red. Like, the veins were bulging in his neck. The way he was looking at me, he didn't even look like Doug. His eyes were black.
Does he yell anything at you?
He said, "You're fucking done."
And what does he do at that point?
I held the gun, like, in front of me, and I said, "Stop." And he, like, turned and he got into this, like, it was like a fighting stance. I got low, and he started, like, moving his arms and his hands around. And he was making these, like, jerking motions.
What were you expecting when you were holding the gun out in front of you and you told him to stop?
I thought when he saw it, he would leave.
Did he?
No.
At that point, Ashley, what are you thinking?
I thought he was gonna kill me.
Tell us what happens next.
He started coming towards me, and then he lunged at me, and I started pulling the trigger. And he just kept coming, and I remember trying to move to get away from him, but he kept coming at me.
Ashley, would you tell us why, if you're holding a loaded firearm, you were attempting to move away?
I was trying to get away from him. I was terrified.
All right, so you're firing. He keeps advancing. What happens next?
It was like his feet slipped out from under him and his legs went up in the air.
When Doug hits the floor, what's your immediate reaction?
I ran to get help.
Can you tell us how many shots you fired?
I have no idea. I was in a panic.
Do you remember anything about the shooting beyond what you've told us here?
It was a blur.
I was approached by another extortionist today. Does she say that?
No, she's talking very carefully.
And you say carefully, but isn't carefully the same thing as code?
No, they're two totally separate things. You know the difference?
You weren't really giving her money for a TV, were you?
Giving her money for a TV.
This TV is probably going to be about $5. I
Okay.
need you to bring cash tonight.
I wish she picked another object on planet Earth other than TV. But TV is code for absolutely nothing. There is no code in this case involving TV. And you keep circling and circling and circling TV, you're wrong.
Is it a coincidence that the repair of the TV that you bought Wendy as a divorce gift because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman is your sister's alibi for the murder, and then your mom brings up TV first call on the wire?
It's not an alibi for a murder. She had a broken TV. You got to ask Lincoln who threw the remote at the TV.
Was it a coincidence? Is the TV thing a coincidence? That's what I hear you say.
Oh, that the repairman was there that day?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a coincidence for sure. There's a
And
couple
all
of
the-
coincidences in this case.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I said there's a couple of coincidences in this case. I mean, she had people send her an email to go buy a bottle of Bullet bourbon for their Stock the Bar party, and she was driving to a liquor store to buy a bottle of Bullet bourbon on that day, at that time, and her friend sent the email, and you have the email in evidence. Like, is that a coincidence? Yeah, coincidences happen.
And the you might not be the right Katie talk, that doesn't seem to really fit with your theory of the case, does it? What was your explanation for that? Why you kept saying you might not be the right Katie? I mean, she's definitely the right Katie, right?
Absolutely. She knew it was. I was implying it was her. I was just trying to say I'm not setting you up, but I need your help.
On call B, your mom, you call your mom back and you say, you probe her a little bit, and ultimately you say, you think someone's trying to blackmail you? That's crazy. Why does it sound like this is something that's new and unfathomable to you at that moment?
Well, because I wasn't even following what my mom was talking about on the first call. And on the second call, when she shocked me when she said that. And I'd been extorted before, and her saying to bring cash, everything just didn't sound right.
Could we play clip 4, please? This is from Dolce.
What, sorry, from what?
Clip 4 from Dolce.
Okay.
Even if they had any evidence, the first words out of your mouth on this clip, even if they had any evidence. No. Strike. The quote is, if you say, if they had any evidence, we'd have already gone to the airport. And I know you already testified about this, but does an innocent person say, if they had any evidence?
Right. Katie's saying it's the police, and I'm saying that we're innocent. They're not going to have any evidence to show we were part of something that we were part of. If we had any part of this, we'd be going to the airport right now. And I
Isn't
still say
it
the
true,
same
doctor,
thing.
that they're not going to have any evidence because you were careful?
No, because we weren't a part of this.
You were smart.
No, we weren't a part of this.
You walled yourself off from
I
the
was
killers.
sure they're not going to have evidence to show I did something I didn't do. So we're not running to the airport.
And you're untouchable, right?
No, we didn't do a murder. I wasn't part of a murder. There's no reason to run to the airport.
In the next clip, you're discussing what's going to happen if this person that did the bump goes to the police. And you're going through all these scenarios, these possibilities.
Wait, if he goes to the police?
Yeah, the blackmailer goes to the police. They're going to say, where's the weapon? And he's not going to know. He's just going to have hearsay, basically. Someone told me they did it, and it's not going to be enough to get the investigation anywhere. Why are you thinking through the possibility of the blackmailer going to the cops if the blackmailer doesn't have any dirt on you to take to the cops?
I wasn't thinking about the blackmailer. What I was trying to say is I don't know anything about Sigfredo. I don't know anything about this crime. I was trying to tell her that I'm harmless. I don't have any knowledge of what went on. Like, the last thing I wanted is that now that she's saying it's the police, is someone to come and kill me and think I'm some kind of loose end. So that's why I'm saying that.
But that's not what you're saying. You're saying if this is a person that Luis Rivera ran his mouth to, and they go to the police, it's going to be worth zero. Because they're not going to know anything other than, hey, my brother told me this.
I don't know if I was saying with someone who knows Luis Rivera. I was trying to make a point that I don't know anything.
And then you suggest what they would have to do is get him to wear a wire and get the person to confess, and that's probably what this could be, an effort to do, right?
Well, they're thinking that we were part of a murder. So this was the same thing I said before, is that this is their theory. So this is a police tactic, and it could be either a bad guy or the police, and this is how they're pursuing it.
Exactly. So as long as you keep your mouth shut, you can get away with murder, right?
No, not at all.
Isn't that what you told Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, Ryan Fitzpatrick is someone who stole over $500,000 from me.
That's not my question, sir.
Sorry.
Did you say that to Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, never. Never at all.
Why do you go into so much detail about rental car examples? Let's start with, strike that. Can you agree that the Prius, you knew that the police were looking for a Prius at the time you met at this Dolce Vita restaurant?
I think it had been released at that time.
All right, and you heard the recording. You're arguing. Let's play the clip. This is going to be clip, I think let's play 7 and 8, please. Dolce.
Because the fact is like say, just got in my car, and then I go ahead and I get the crime, and I go, and you're getting in the car, I go, yeah, Katie was in my car, and she got out, and she did this horrible crime. Okay, if they come and they get the DNA in the car, they go, yep, Katie was in my car. No, Katie sat in the car for 2 minutes, got out of the AC, and then got out of the car. Katie has nothing to do with the other broken people. Outside of that, there's no evidence. Okay? You know, if you have a car and you can link this person to renting that car that you the crime, okay. But you have to prove that they were also driving that day too, and rented it and lent it to a friend. What if you rented a car and I go, Katie, can I borrow for the weekend? I'll bring it back on Tuesday. You go, yeah, sure. So you rented the car. You've been in that car. I drive into fucking Orlando. I rob McDonald's in Orlando. I come back and I go, here's the keys, Katie. And you go, okay, thanks. Yeah, you rented it, but what if you were fucking out all weekend and you didn't even know I took your car? I did something and I brought it back. Okay. My point is, I don't have any knowledge of what went on. Evidently, this person is either pretending to or does. I don't want someone paying business.
Sounds like you're saying even if they track down the Prius, even if there's DNA or fingerprints in the Prius, meaning like they can link someone to the Prius, that's not going to be enough evidence to make any arrests in this case. Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. What I'm doing is I'm restating.
You've answered my question.
Can I give you an
On redirect, you'll have an opportunity.
Well,
My question was.
One moment.
My question
We're not
was-
just wildly arguing. Mr. Adelson, please answer the question.
okay.
I can just ask you a yes or no question.
Please allow me to
and
answer your question.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Help yourself out.
What I was saying to Katie is that the information she had just told me in the car about Sigfredo not being there when the crime was committed, she told me that Sigfredo was high on drugs at the hotel and that Luis had rented a car and that he's the one who killed Dan. And I'm restating to her that I don't have any knowledge of what went on, and that all I know is that Sigfredo wasn't even there when this happened. So that's what I'm restating to her.
That Sigfredo can't be caught even if he's connected to the crime, to the car?
I know that Sigfredo wasn't the one who killed Dan.
Okay.
Your wife doesn't have a Google phone, right? She have an Apple,
Yes.
and she, Apple's got all these crazy products. They've got what's the thing that you put on your wrist that kind of goes with your phone? What's that one called?
Some of the Apple Watch?
The Apple Watch. Does May have an Apple Watch?
She does.
Okay. Did you ever watch Steve Jobs' presentations when he would get up and say, just one more thing? You ever see him do that? And he drops like a new product or anything?
No.
Never seen that before?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. I'm publishing I don't even know if I've shown this opposing counsel. This is just. May I approach the witness? Let the record reflect I'm showing opposing witness 378. Stage proposed 378. Those appear to be the messages that we're looking at in that timeline, sir. Okay, and on the back of this is the very image that she sent to you. Would that be correct?
Right.
And that's a fair and accurate depiction of that thumbnail,
Mhm.
correct? It's a fair and accurate depiction of what's up there in that timeline, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. At this time, we ask permission to admit stage 378.
No objection.
And you talked about these. I think you told us before on cross that these messages, they weren't hacked or anything like that from the police. Like these were the messages, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm now going to publish 378. So this message, if you could, please tell me, what is the time? Oh, it's kind of cut up a little bit. What time is that message sent?
At 10:36 a.m.
Okay, on September the 2nd, is that
Correct.
right? Then we have this other little blurb. It doesn't actually have anything there, but what is the time on that?
10:36.
And then we have on this following page another message at 3:16. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's kind of talking about how much, she's selling some cards and making some money, something like that, correct?
Right.
And you immediately kind of respond within a minute to her at around 3 o'clock, correct?
Right.
But you don't do anything here, correct? Because it's just a random message, and there's no need to. I mean, nothing's being asked of you, right?
Right.
It's just a random message.
Right.
And you'll just take care of it when you walk in the door, right?
Pretty much.
Showing opposing counsel what's been marked as safety close 379 through 387. Before I approach, I'm just going to ask you one more time. You didn't delete anything off your phone on September 2nd of 2022, did you, sir?
Not that I recall.
Now we're going to approach the stage proposed 379 through 387. Why don't you take a look at those?
Okay.
Okay. Sir, do those appear to be messages that we just looked at from maybe some other device that we were just looking at through your text messages or your timeline?
Yeah.
Do those appear to be fair and accurate depictions of those messages?
Except there's an additional message.
Right, there's an additional message. That's your wife's Apple Watch, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, and that's a fair and accurate depiction of what that watch looks like, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And with the exception of the one message that's off, everything else seems to be a fair and accurate depiction of your communication on that day that you were just telling us about on the timeline. Isn't that right?
And so it seems, yes.
Okay. At this time, we'd ask for the admission. Stage proposed 379 through 387.
Could approach, please.
Defendants.
Sir, you maintained that on the morning, September 2nd, 2022, you were at home, correct?
Right, except for when I went to take a walk.
You deny going over to 7216 Bronze Circle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Publishing 379. That is your wife's Apple Watch, correct?
I mean, it's got a picture of my daughter on it, so I'd have to assume that it is.
No. That's the same picture you just told us about from your text messages, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's at 10:35, correct?
Yes.
It says Friday, correct?
Yes.
It also says Rob up in the corner, correct?
Yes.
Let I'm now publishing 380. Please read to this jury, what does it say underneath that photograph?
It says, "Where are you?"
Where are you? You told us you were at home.
I did not. I said, actually, when I got the messages, I was still on my walk.
Sir, is it your testimony that you were at home on the day in that morning?
Not the entire morning, no. And
Okay.
I said that to you,
And
sir.
let me ask you this question. That message isn't on your phone, is it?
It isn't. I mean,
So the answer is
if
no,
it was
it's not
sent,
on your-
if
it's
it
not
was
on
sent,
your
it
phone.
should have been.
One
But
at a time, one at a
Sir?
time, please.
Yes or no? That message isn't on your phone.
why it isn't, I wouldn't know because it
I
apparently
didn't
it's
ask
not.
you why.
It's not on my wife's phone either.
Sir, I didn't ask you why. I asked you a yes or no question. That message is not on your phone, correct?
From what you showed me, it is not.
And you were in possession of your phone on that day, correct?
On that day, yes.
And you, as the owner of the phone, have the ability to save messages and delete messages, correct?
Yes.
Because the person who holds the phone controls the information, correct?
At that moment, yes.
Right. And she's asking, where are you? Right?
Yes.
At that same time, at 10:30 in the morning, we've seen video surveillance of a car that you say looks just like mine driving in Mr. Gehrman's neighborhood, correct?
That is correct.
Sir, if you left your phone at home, you wouldn't have been able to respond to that message, correct? If you were not next to it, correct?
That's speculative, but you're
If you
saying
left
if
your house and left your phone at home on the morning of September 2nd, and your wife's texting you, where are you, you wouldn't have been able to respond to that, correct?
but I did not.
I didn't ask you that.
Uh,
If you were not in your house on September 2nd in the morning, and your wife sent you a message with a phone you had left at home, it would have been impossible for you to answer that question, correct?
He can answer.
I'll ask you again.
Again, that would have been if in fact that was the case. If in fact I left my phone at home, then sure, yes.
I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay, so at this time, we need to end early today, so we're gonna conclude for the day. Can I get you on the coach just so we can talk about tomorrow's start time?
So what time do you get in Florida?
We get to Florida, I don't know, early in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. I don't know, very early.
Can you recall whether or not the sun was up?
The sun was just coming up.
Okay. So you go straight to the Seavers residence.
Yes, sir.
And where do you park?
We park right in the driveway.
Okay. You don't park off the property somewhere down the street.
No, sir.
Okay. And this is in the morning that you park right in the driveway.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you find out whether or not anyone's home?
Yes, we unpacked the stuff out of the trunk, our bags. Essentially, if you were going to a hotel room, the same stuff that you would take to a hotel room, we grab our bags, our clothes that we packed to spend the night there at the Seavers. I got multiple, outfits that I brought with me. So did Wayne. We walk into the garage. He enters the code. We walk right into the garage. He closes it. We walk into the house.
Let me pause you there and back up. Garage is open or closed?
The garage was closed when we pulled up.
Okay. How does Curtis open the garage?
It's got a alarm pad, I guess, little pad over to the side. He
Little
enters.
keypad?
Yep, little
Okay.
keypad. He enters the code into the keypad.
Do you know what the code is?
I do not.
Okay. Proceed.
He walks over, hits the code. The garage door opens. We walk in. He closes it. We walk into the house from the garage. As soon as we walk into the house, the little pad next to the door makes a little beeping noise.
And is that, what is that, like a home security system?
I presumably so.
Okay.
Wayne enters in a code into the home security system. He starts calling the dogs by name, bends down, pets the dogs, calls them little pet names. After he gets done petting the dogs, he starts hollering for Mark. Wayne's all excited to hear from Mark. He's hollering Mark's name. No response is coming. Wayne tells me, hang tight there. I say hang tight. Stay in the kitchen. He's gonna go check on Mark. As he walks through the kitchen towards the left side of the home, leaving me standing there in the hallway right as soon as you walk into the kitchen. He vanishes for a short period. He comes back. He tells me that nobody's home, that we got to go, that we can't stay in the home, that nobody's there.
Oh, well, shoot. Do you know how that happened?
I discovered later that Curtis Wainwright apparently mixed up the times of whenever we're supposed to be coming down to Florida for this trip and whenever Mark had his own trip planned. Although Wayne's been telling everybody about this trip for at least a good month prior to us actually going on the trip.
Okay. Do you know how it came to be? Did he explain how he got the dates mixed up?
No, he never made that abundantly clear.
Okay.
He's got a
Is
TBI
that
though.
something that you've observed him to do before?
All the time.
Why all the time? Or what causes it to happen with such frequency?
His traumatic brain injury.
Okay. Understand you're not a doctor, right?
I am not.
Okay. And you don't have a traumatic brain injury yourself, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. So I guess to the extent that you are aware of how the TBI affected him, where did you come across that knowledge?
I see it all the time, just being in his presence.
Okay. So you observe these things personally. So go ahead. What are those things that you observe him doing?
Like, he'll put a burrito inside the microwave, open up the refrigerator, forget why he was in the refrigerator, close it, walk off, come back later, grab a burrito, go to put it in the microwave, and discover a cold one's already in there. Or I'll watch him go to make a sandwich, reach in to the refrigerator or grab something for the sandwich, forget what he's doing, and walk out of the kitchen and leave it there. That's just some basic stuff. Like,
Okay.
he always is forgetting stuff on the job site, forgetting tools, not bringing stuff, blowing me off whenever I tell him be there on Wednesday and he doesn't show up. Like, he just always is.
Okay. So he got his dates or his times mixed up as far as you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you do?
We went to the beach, have fun,
Okay.
went sightseeing.
Why didn't you just turn around and go back to Missouri?
Why would we? We were supposed to be down here as far as I knew.
Well, that reminds me of something I wanted to ask you earlier. Were you paid for your trip down to Florida?
No, I was not. I was
What was
promised $100 to help Wayne paint,
Let me
Yes.
ask you about that.
as well as I was promised he was going to pay for the vacation.
Okay. Let me ask you about the $100. Did you need the money?
No, sir.
You were still working your other jobs at this point.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you having any trouble paying bills?
No, sir.
Okay. I think you gave me a number earlier regarding a fair portion of your aggregate take-home pay left over once all your bills are paid.
Yep.
That's still the case.
Yep.
Okay. So you're paid $100 or told you'll get $100 to come help them. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Now back to what you were doing after you left the Seavers residence. Did he express any reason to believe that the Seavers would be back sometime soon?
Yeah, he said they would be back later that day.
Did he explain to you why he thought that?
No, he did not.
Did you ask?
I just, whenever they weren't there, I asked him, I was like, what's going on? That's when he explained that they were apparently on their trip, that he messed up the times. Whenever he said that they'd be back later that day, that we were just going to go to the beach, go out, essentially do what tourists do here in Florida, and come back later.
Okay.
I assumed that he had knowledge that I didn't have.
Okay. And it was his trip, so you were just kind of following his lead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, besides the beach, what else did you do?
We went to Walmart to get more stuff for the beach because we discovered we were ill prepared. For instance, I didn't bring towels. I brought my swimming trunks. I brought like a thin shirt that dries quick. I brought my swimming shoes, but I didn't bring any towels. Wayne's sandals that he brought are holding water like a sponge. So after he gets out of the water, every step that he makes, it like squishes water out of the soles. So he had to get some water shoes. Just where do you put your phone when you go to the beach? Your watch, your other stuff, your car keys. So we didn't have any of this kind of stuff prepared for the beach.
Okay, I thought you were asking me, and as you can tell, I don't go to the beach. So. All right, so I guess do you like take any pictures while you're there?
We took pictures all the way coming down to Florida and while in Florida.
Okay.
Together.
And while you're down in Florida, kind of killing time, do either you or Curtis contact anyone back from Missouri?
Yes, both of us.
Who would you contact?
Angela Wright actually called my phone to talk to Wayne
Okay.
while we were in Florida.
Why'd she call your phone rather than Wayne?
I don't know. Like, she called my phone to talk to Wayne. I handed Wayne my phone. It's like, they talked. He told her like that we made it to Florida safely, that we'd be back Tuesday night, that Mark apparently wasn't home, that we'd be back Tuesday night.
Okay. That brings up another point that I'll ask you about it right now. The trip's duration, you understand it to be leave early Saturday, return Tuesday.
I had to be back to work Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Wayne actually wanted a longer trip. That means that I actually supposed to clock in at 4 a.m. on Wednesday. So I'm supposed to make it home sometime close to around midnight on Tuesday. So that was the game plan.
Okay. So I guess, when do you, if ever, return to the Seavers residence?
We returned there around 10:30 at night.
Okay. So it's getting kind of later into the evening. What else are you doing to eat up this time?
We went down to the pier, bought a bunch of souvenirs at all the gift shops there, but quickly discovered one gift shop's identical to the next. It just sells the same stuff, different store. So took some pictures down there with the parrot. I don't know, thought that was actually kind of cool. Bought a Taylor Showmaker some gifts. Wayne bought a shark tooth necklace for his daughter Lizzie, because he's got a 9 or 10-year-old daughter at the time. I bought a scorpion under glass for his brother Jerry. He bought an alligator's head. I don't know, we both were picking up a bunch of seashells to bring back. He's bringing them back for Angela. I was bringing them back for Taylor. I bought Taylor a Fort Myers Beach t-shirt. I bought a couple shot glasses. It's a him and her set that's blue and pink.
Let me time out. So you bought a shirt that said Fort Myers on it.
Yes.
So you bought an article of clothing that provided proof positive that you were in Florida during this weekend. Why would you bring that or why would you obtain that evidence, Jimmy?
Because we're not in Florida to commit a crime. We're
Okay.
supposed to be going to Mark's house to work and spend the night.
Okay.
This is why I'm also telling Taylor Showmaker that I'm in Florida. There's numerous people that I told I was in Florida. I talked to my shift coordinator while I'm in Florida. I told him I'd be home Tuesday night, late Tuesday night, because he actually tried calling me into work. So just hours before the murder, I told him I wouldn't be back till late Tuesday night, before then showing up a day and a half early.
Okay. So 10:30 rolls along. You head back to the Seavers residence. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this time, you must park a couple blocks away and then proceed to the home on foot.
No, sir.
Where do you park?
Driveway.
Okay. So you park in the driveway. I guess were the Seavers home?
They was not.
Okay. Did Curtis? How did he respond to that?
When we ran out of just things to do, we actually first stopped by the beach that we were at earlier that morning. We were trying to shower before going over to the Seavers. The beach shower was locked, so we left from the beach to go to the Seavers. We just parked in the driveway, knowing that nobody was home. Like, all the lights are off inside the home, and we're just waiting for them to show up.
Okay.
Grant us entry into the house.
And is Curtis expressing any concern that the Seavers aren't there yet?
No.
Okay. I guess, does he seem confident that they'll arrive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know you said you're waiting there. Are you doing anything, calling anyone, reading anything?
I talked to Taylor off and on the whole time I was in Florida. I can't tell you if that was during one of those times or not.
Okay.
I know that I got out of the car to smoke at some point.
Okay. And when you're out of the car, are you hanging around kind of the side of the house? Where are you?
Right beside the car, right in the driveway. Everybody can see me, like
Okay.
nothing secretive.
So, I guess is there ever a point in time where someone of the Sievers family does arrive?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
While we were sitting inside the driveway, a van pulls up, lights shine on the side of our car, garage door opens, van pulls into the house, garage door remains open.
Let me pause right there and ask you about that. I thought that you were parked in the driveway.
Yes, there's two sides on the driveway, so you have two different garage doors. We are parked on the one to the far right in front of that garage door. I now know today, as well as after we entered the home, that there was a station wagon on that side of the garage.
Okay. So you're parked on one side of the driveway. I guess there's sufficient room for a van to pull in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Proceed from there. What happens?
The van pulls into the garage. The garage door remains open. We pop the trunk. We grab our stuff again, the stuff that we brought in originally that morning that we were bringing in to spend the night. We get our stuff. As we're walking towards the home, Teresa walks around the van. She's now standing by the back of the taillights of the van.
If I can pause you there.
Yep.
Had you ever met Miss Sievers before? Mrs.
Never.
Sievers before, excuse me.
Never.
Okay, so this is your first time encountering Mrs. Sievers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please proceed.
And her immediate reaction to seeing Wayne and me walking up her driveway is she asked Wayne, "What are you doing here?" Like, she's immediately got an attitude. She's got a problem with him being there. Wayne starts telling her that he messed up the times of whenever I guess we were supposed to show up. And she immediately starts yelling at him. We walked into the garage. She closed the garage door behind us.
Okay, and let me pause you there just to make sure I understand. Both you and Curtis at that point proceed through the garage door, which has been opened,
Yep.
along with Mrs. Sievers. So all three of you, I guess at this point, are in the garage.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please proceed.
After she closed the garage door, her and Wayne's dialogue continue. Heated like argument while she unloads the stuff from the side of the van. Wayne's now standing at the front of the van. I'm standing on, I guess, the side of the van closer to where the passenger side door would be.
So the passenger side?
Passenger side, because the van's pulled into the garage nose first,
Okay.
bumper first. So I'm standing on the side of the van where the passenger door would be. She's on the driver's side with that door open over there, grabbing her stuff out of the van.
Let me ask you about that. You say that door open. So is that the driver door which is open? Is it the I guess, side sliding door? Which door's open and having stuff
She
away
had
from
the
it?
driver's door open, grabbing some stuff out of it whenever we walked over towards the front of the van, and she has her stuff in front of the van at that point, arguing with Wainwright.
Okay. And I guess, is there enough room in the garage for it to open up within the garage and not, strike the side of the garage?
The driver's door?
Yes.
Yes, that's how she got in and out of the van.
Okay. All right. So she's unpacking while having this conversation with Curtis. What are you doing?
I'm just standing there kind of wondering what the heck's going on because I was expecting a normal, reunion. Whenever I show up to people's house to work on the regular, like normal, because this is, to me, you might have a job where you work in a courtroom. My job isn't working in people's houses. I'm used to people being more receptive of us whenever we show up.
So you're there to do something.
Yes.
Okay. But that's inconsistent with what you're observing between Mrs. Sievers and Curtis.
Yes.
Okay. I guess, did she have any reason to believe that Curtis and you would be there waiting for her upon her arrival?
Objection. Witness lacks personal knowledge of what Dr. Sievers would know.
Sustained.
Did you hear anything during the course of their exchange that led you to believe that this was an expected encounter between the two of them?
She said that we, when I shouldn't say the word we, he was expected to show up next weekend, not the weekend that we were there. That he, Curtis Wainwright, was expected to show up next weekend.
Okay. So How's Wayne taking all of this, as you can observe? What's his demeanor?
Wayne, who's already been in a bad mood throughout the entire day and is already high and angry, he's frustrated. He's not taking this very well. You could see that he's trying to essentially bite back his temper as she continuously.
Let me ask you, have you ever seen Wayne lose his temper before?
Yes, actually quite frequently.
Okay, so you're not kind of guessing. Are you like recognizing ways that he's acting or his demeanor?
Absolutely. With working with Wayne, seeing him throw a bandsaw or a circular saw, I should say, across the room, actually through the drywall, and I don't know, other temper tantrums on the job site, yelling at people, I know his mannerisms.
Okay, so proceed from there regarding the exchange between Mrs. Sievers and Wayne Ryan.
So she's yelling at him, telling him he's an idiot, and she's yelling at him, telling him he does a terrible job as their IT work, that he has to come here to Florida constantly to work on their computers, that it's always broken, that she's tired of paying him to do this, told him that he's fired, that she's going to hire somebody different, somebody local. So she's got her finger in his face, she's screaming at him, and it was during this exchange that, while Curtis keeps saying that it's his TBI and trying to take no responsibility essentially for being there late, he picked up a hammer that was in arm's reach and struck her with it.
Did you see where the hammer was?
It was sitting on the deep freeze.
Let me ask you something. When you're painting, how do you use a hammer when you're painting?
You don't.
Did you bring a hammer with you?
No, sir.
Okay. Is a hammer like a tool that you use frequently in your job?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you didn't have one with you that night?
No, sir.
Okay. Curtis grabs the hammer. What happens then?
He strikes her with it.
Where is she standing when so struck?
They are face to face in a full-on yelling and screaming match. Or I should say more like she's yelling at him, like he's trying to keep his cool.
Well, where are they?
Directly in front of the minivan.
Okay,
so they're
still in the
standing.
garage.
She's standing. Yes, she's standing right beside the deep freezer. He's standing right beside the deep freezer, right there at the corner of the deep freezer, right where the door is that enters into the Sievers home.
Okay. He strikes her. What happens?
She takes off running down the hallway into the kitchen.
Does she, before she does so, I guess let me ask this first. Where are you standing?
I'm still standing with my backpack over my shoulder, there by the passenger door of the van, waiting for Curtis to walk in, because there's only a little bit of room between the front of the van to make it between the deep freeze and the van itself to actually walk into the house.
I forgot to ask you something else. I'm going to back up for a second, okay? While you are in Florida with Curtis, is there ever a point in time which you drive by the Sievers medical practice?
No, sir.
Have you ever been to the Sievers
No.
medical practice? Okay. Thank you. Returning to where we were. Once stricken, does Teresa do anything in response to Curtis?
She takes off running towards the kitchen down through that hallway. Wayne goes chasing after her. I drop my bag there inside of the garage. I go chasing after Wayne, telling him, stop, stop, as we're running off into the kitchen together.
Okay. Is there ever a period of time from when the two of them are having their exchange, prior to the strike, that you have an obstructed line of sight of them? Do you have let me ask the better question. Do you have a clear line of sight on them the whole time they're having their exchange?
I'm seeing them from a view from the passenger side door, essentially of the van,
Okay.
and them standing at the front of the van. So I got an angle at view of being able to see both people while yelling at each other.
Okay. Nothing in your way blocking your view?
No, sir.
Okay. You follow the two in. What do you see?
Whenever I make it into the kitchen, Teresa's got her back towards the counter. She's fighting, like trying to fight off Curtis. She's got her arms up. Curtis grabs her by her hair. He swings with his body weight in a circle and swings her to the ground, with her landing towards where the dishwasher, I guess it is, the little island in the kitchen.
Let me pause you there to make sure that I understand that. Does he have a hammer in his hand at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know if he's left or right-handed?
He's right-handed.
Okay. So is he grabbing her by the hair with his left hand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you to run through what you describe as using his body to throw, because I don't know if I'm understanding you correctly.
Well, I'm in body chains right now, but
Okay.
he grabs her by the hair
With one hand.
with one hand. I can't demonstrate it. It's like he's leaning forward, holding her by the hair. Now it's pulling her head forward. And then kind of like how that you would do a throw for that real heavy ball whenever the people that run track, whatever that's called, where you spin in a circle track. Like he grabs her by the hair and he spins with his body weight to yank her
put.
to the ground. Yes, shot put. He grabs her by the hair and spins with his body weight to yank her to the ground.
Okay. So she doesn't fall to the ground. He throws her.
Yes, he grabs her by the hair while her back's against the counter and swings her in a half circle and swings her back into the counter that she was already leaning back up against.
Okay. And I guess proceed from there, please.
She starts trying to go for her phone. There's a bunch of stuff on the ground.
Let me ask you, thank you for saying that. Does she have anything in her hands at this point?
Honestly, everything happened so quick, I couldn't tell you what was going on. I just know that there was a bunch of stuff on the ground after he swung her to the ground.
Okay. Once she's swung to the ground, what does he do?
He starts kicking at her phone and other things that are on the ground. He puts his hand on her back and starts striking her in the back of the head with a hammer over and over and over and over again.
What are you doing?
At this point in time, I had already been screaming, stop, stop, stop. But by the time this fight, this little small quick engagement happened, she was already pretty well dead.
You say this small, quick engagement. What are you describing that way?
I'm saying that in real life, kind of like if you watch a boxing match, you can't go and tell me what every swing or punch was when you're trying to recall it. This all happened very quickly. He hit her, she ran down the hallway, he chased after her, he instantly swung her to the ground, kicked the stuff, put his hand on her back and started hitting her in the head with a hammer. This was all really quick.
Okay.
This was, I would guess, say under 30 seconds.
Okay. And where are you standing?
At this point in time, I'm standing inside the kitchen, right as where the hallway leads into the kitchen, right beside, I guess, the refrigerator where you first walk in.
Okay. And what are you wearing?
I am wearing my swimming trunks, a white t-shirt that I've been wearing all day. It's thin white t-shirt. I got on my work boots. I took off my water shoes whenever we left the beach
Why'd you do that?
because they're filled with sand and they're wet. Like I don't normally wear water shoes outside the water.
Okay. What's Curtis wearing?
He's still got on his water shoes, he's still got on his swimming trunks, and he's still got on the shirt that he was wearing at the beach.
Was there ever a point in time at which either you or he donned the coveralls?
No, sir.
Is there ever a point in time at which you or he put on gloves?
No, sir.
Okay. What does Curtis do once he's, I guess, was there a point in time where he stopped delivering these blows?
After her body went limp, she quit holding herself up with her own two arms while he had his hand on her back after she collapsed to the ground. He continued to strike her in the head a couple more times after that. Then he stopped. He raised his hammer and pointed at me in a threatening manner.
What do you mean a threatening manner?
Well, I'm standing still there beside the refrigerator in the front of it, essentially blocking the hallway area that would walk back into the garage. So after he gets done hitting her, he looks up, his eyes filled with tears, where he's just so angry that he's crying. And as he looks up at me, and then he points the hammer at me, like kind of like if you were holding a microphone out in front of somebody's face. He points the hammer directly towards my face. I put my arms up.
Does he
Surrender.
say anything to you?
No, he doesn't say a word to me. After I put my arms up, I was like, I didn't see. Those were my exact words. He then brushes past me and walks down the hallway into the garage.
Okay. And I guess do you go and check on Mrs. Severs?
No, as I started to go walk behind him towards the garage, he made the comment, he goes, "We got to make this look like a break-in or a burglary gone wrong," as he grabs her luggage that was there, that she had just unloaded from the van, and he just starts dumping stuff out everywhere all over the ground.
Okay. And
By the way, backtrack, he still's got his hammer with him. He set that off on the freezer whenever he went to go rifling through her belongings.
I was going to get there, but thank you. So, how's Curtis's appearance after this? Does he have any blood on him? Is he clean?
He's got a lot of blood on him.
Okay. Do you have any blood on you?
No, sir.
Okay. So once Curtis pushes past you, did you see where he went?
Yes, I followed behind him. He walked directly into the garage. As soon as that you step out of the door at this point by the deep freezer, Teresa's stuff's essentially in your way. It's all still standing there right by the front, well, right by the door of the house.
Oh, and so that's why he picked it up, is impeding him.
I couldn't tell you. I just, as I'm walking behind him, he sets his hammer down and says, "Got to make this look like a burglary gone wrong."
Okay.
Like as if it's an afterthought.
So
And
what
he
do you
just starts
do?
dumping stuff. With where Wayne's at, he's actually blocking my view where I can't walk past him. I can't walk between the van and the freezer with him being where he's at. So I walk between the van and the wall towards where the garage door opener is to go press the button. But once I got over there, I was thinking to myself, like, we got fingerprints in this house from being here earlier in the day. So I used my shirt to wipe my fingerprints off of the garage door button. I walk behind the van over to the motorcycle where we had stopped to look at it, exiting the home early in the morning, and wipe my fingerprints from the handlebars of the motorcycle, at which point I discovered I was alone in the garage.
Okay. Let me ask you about that sequence. Have you ever had to do something like that before? Because it seemed like pretty quick thinking to have to rub down knobs and other things.
No, sir, but having fingerprints, I've watched enough CSI shows and just common basic sense to know got fingerprints.
Okay. So, I guess at this point you realize you're alone in the garage. What do you do?
Wonder where Wayne is, so whenever I don't see him in the garage no more, I walk back towards into the home. I walk through that hallway again. As I walk into the home, I observe Curtis Wainwright leaned over Teresa Seaver's dead body, calling her names, calling her a and continuing to hit her in the head with a hammer. At which point in time, as soon as I walked in and seen this, I told Wayne my exact words, I'm out of here.
Okay. Well, let me ask you about that. Did you have a means of leaving the scene, leaving Florida on your own?
No, sir.
Okay. So, I guess, what's Wayne's response to that?
Wayne stops what he's doing. He walks towards me. He takes his T-shirt, wipes his fingerprints off the handle of the hammer that he was using, and just drops it there in the kitchen. Tells me wait up for him, which I don't. I just keep walking as he stops to wash his arms and blood off inside the sink that's in that hallway heading towards the garage.
That was my question. Where is that sink located? Okay. And so did you watch him wash off?
I was there present enough for him to turn on the water and start splashing the water on his arms where he had blood up and down his arms, at which point I just walked out of the garage and I was done to leave. I didn't want to open the front garage door. It makes a lot of noise. People would see me. So I went out through the side door with my backpack. Right after that, Wayne comes out. Whenever Wayne comes out, he's got a pry bar in his hand. He closes the door, which I was still over here taking my time. The reason why it's taking me so long is I'm trying to wipe my fingerprints off the door as I'm touching it and things as I'm going along. Wayne closes the door, puts a couple pry marks on it. After it's already unlocked and we're already outside the home, he puts a couple pry marks on it, walks back inside the garage to return, put away that pry tool that he found in the garage.
Did you see where he got it from the garage?
No clue.
Okay.
Once he comes back outside the home, He himself closes the door, wipes his fingerprints off the door handle after he closes it, and then he strips his clothes off, puts them inside of his backpack, and puts on another clean pair of clothes that he had brought with him for trip and stay there at the Seavers.
Okay. So, what do? You got to get in the car with this guy?
I have to. I don't have any other mode of transportation to get back to Missouri.
You didn't call the cops.
No, sir.
Why didn't you call the cops?
At the time, I'm just scared. I'm in the moment. My PTSD is going. I just want to get out of the house.
Okay. And I guess, had Curtis made any threats towards you at that point?
Not yet at that point.
Okay. So, what do you do then?
We then go to the car. Once we go to the car, we put our stuff back inside the trunk, the stuff that we were planning, to keep there at the Seavers to spend the night. We put our stuff away. We leave from there, and we go directly back to Missouri.
Okay. Let's talk about that car ride back. I guess, does Wayne do anything that causes within you concern for your own safety?
Yes.
What's that?
Well, he's very up, down, all around.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, earlier inside of the evening while we were there walking around the beach, we had been drinking. Mm-hmm. Wayne hasn't slept this entire 19-hour drive down here. The whole time we're down here, he's snorting Adderall, he's high. And now he's going from super angry to super happy. So first thing he tells me is he's crying and he's telling me that he never meant to kill her, that I got to understand it was an accident, he just freaked out, it's his TBI. 2 seconds later, he's laughing and giggling and telling me it was a fun game of whack-a-mole. And then he's threatening to kill me and threatening to kill Taylor if I go to the cops or tell anybody.
I'm Sonny. How are you?
Okay.
I just want to get a couple things clear real quick. Pedro had committed acts of domestic violence against you in the past, right?
Yes.
And you him?
Yes.
Now, I know you said that you had to change the lock because of Pedro, right?
Yes.
He never had a key.
So the old one.
Right, but after all that went down, he never had a key.
No.
The night that he died, he didn't have a key either, right?
I don't know.
Did you ever give him a key?
Not to the house, no.
Right, so he never had a key the night that he died.
Maybe his car keys or the house keys to the house in Florida City.
To your house, the keys that you changed, she never had a key to your house.
No.
And your mom testified earlier, right?
Yes.
And she said she actually saw him choke you?
Yes.
She actually saw him put his hands around your neck?
Yes.
And she didn't call the police?
No, that's why she kept getting tired.
You're gonna have to keep your voice up. I can barely hear. The answer was
No, that's why she kept getting tired of it.
She saw her daughter get choked, and she never called the police?
No.
Your children were home, right?
Yes.
Her grandchildren were home, right?
Yes.
She could have taken those children out of such a dangerous living condition, right?
Yes.
And she didn't, right?
Right.
She just left your house, right?
Yes.
Leaving you in a dangerous living condition at that point, right?
Yes.
Pedro was so dangerous that your mom actually flew to Texas to move you out of your home and get away from him, right?
Yes.
But she just left you there?
She got tired of the excuses.
She left her grandchildren around such a dangerous man?
Yes.
And you said that these 4 pieces of paper were what's stopping you from calling the police?
Yes.
And that's that's defense exhibit F, just for the record. You could have told the police he broke into your house, though, right?
I wouldn't let them depart with me. He wasn't a bad guy.
He wasn't a bad guy.
No.
Okay. Now, you killed Pedro, right?
Yes.
And that was in 2022, right?
Yes.
And we're here 3 years later?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when Pedro was killed, he didn't have a knife, right?
No.
He didn't have a gun?
No.
You're the only one that was armed, right?
Yes.
You actually had the deadly force in your hands before you killed him, right?
Yes.
And he was never armed, right?
That night, no.
He, according to you, was just going to lock you out of the house, right?
At that moment, that was what was going to happen, yes.
Okay. Because you didn't want to sleep outside, you shot him, right?
I don't want to keep getting hit.
But you told police you didn't want to sleep outside. That's what he said to you, right?
Yeah.
And that was right after, according to you, you cheated on him. Or, I'm sorry, you admitted to cheating on him, right?
Yes.
While you were armed, you admitted to cheating on him, right?
Yes.
And this was a man that was so dangerous and so angry and so aggressive, you, armed with a firearm, admitted to this man that you cheated on him, right?
I thought maybe that I was, if I finally told him, it would just get it over with.
Okay. After you...
Man, you must speak a little louder.
I'm sorry, I said I thought if I finally just told him that it would just get it over with and he would finally, we can move on.
Okay. Now, you waited to call 911, right?
Yes.
You knew you shot him? Right?
Not at first.
As you walked on camera that we saw in State 16, we heard you actually say, "You'll be fine. It's not like I hit a major artery. You'll be fine," right?
That's not what I said.
Okay. Now, you hit the gun, right?
Yes.
You hit the casing, right?
No.
Knowing you shot him, you waited 1 minute, right? Before you called 911?
No.
Okay. You waited 10 minutes.
Until I got the phone.
Let's wait a minute.
I'm sorry?
Waiting for 1 minute. You waited a minute to call 911, right?
I didn't wait.
There was a 10-minute delay, right?
I'm not sure exactly how long it was.
And we just waited a minute, and you waited 10 of those before 911 was called, right?
I don't know how long it was.
You lied to the 911 operator about who you were, though, right?
I did.
About how old Pedro was?
Yes.
You lied about who he was.
Yes.
And you lied about what happened. right?
I did.
You actually found him before you called 911, right?
I found him within that very minute. I called him.
And you walked up to his body as he died, and you took his phone out of his pockets, right?
I took his phone out to put the tourniquet, yes.
Okay. And you took his wallet out of his pockets as well, right?
No.
Now, after taking his phone and his wallet out of his pockets, you walked back to that Chevy Trax, right? That rental car?
I never took his wallet out.
And you put the phone back in the Trax?
No.
You put the wallet back in the Trax, right?
I don't remember.
You turned the car off, right? After doing this?
I turned the car off after the police came.
And you pulled your phone out, right?
No, he had the phone. It was next to him on the floor.
And you turned your flashlight on over his body, right?
No.
And you turned that flashlight on even though that Chevy Trax would have lit up the area a whole lot better, didn't you?
I turned the light on after I was next to him, and that was so I could see where he was at.
And you did all this because you didn't want anyone to know who he was, right?
I expected for him to live, and he would have corroborated the story just for those kids.
But he can't because he's dead, right?
Yeah.
And you hid his phone, you hid his wallet, you turned off the car because you didn't want anybody to know who he was because it'd be easy to piece it back to you as the shooter, right?
I never hid it.
After all, even your sister told the police that if Pedro was dead, you were the one to kill him, right?
She never said that.
Now, after putting his phone and wallet back in the car he rented, that's when you called 911, right?
I put the stuff in the car looking for my phone. I had it already in my hand. I was looking for my phone so I could call 911. I went back to his body just to try to render him aid, and that's when I seen the phone like a foot next to him.
And that's when you started helping him because you were afraid of being caught, right?
No, I started helping him because I didn't want him to die.
Okay. Now, when Officer Nicholson arrived on scene, you lied to him, right?
I did.
Okay. You lied about you didn't know what happened.
I did.
You lied when you told him that you thought you heard a car peel off and heard a gunshot, right?
I did.
That gunshot you heard was actually your gunshot, right?
Yes.
You asked Pedro as he died, we saw his last moments on earth. What the fuck happened, right?
One of his legs, he couldn't move at all, and I didn't understand why.
But you knew what happened, right?
Not to the other leg.
Because you shot him, right?
I don't see how I didn't understand how he would have had 2 shots at all.
Now, when Officer Nicholson asked Pedro if he was shot, you answered for Pedro, right? Or excuse me, if he was shot, you answered for Pedro.
I did.
You said something about hitting a major artery, right?
I said I might have. I could have.
Because you knew you had shot him and hit a major artery, right?
No.
And that's even why you told Pedro, as he fled from you, that you'll be fine. It's not like I hit a major artery, right?
I said, you don't want to go to the hospital? I could have hit a major artery. You'll be fine.
Because you were mocking him, right?
If that's how you perceive it.
Now, Officer Aguila also arrived on scene, and you lied to him too, right?
I don't know who that is.
You lied when you told him all you heard was screaming, right?
Yes.
You lied when you told him Pedro left the house 30 minutes before.
Yes.
You lied when you told him that Pedro had left walking by himself, right?
No.
You admitted to Officer Rodriguez, though, that you were married to Pedro, right?
that point, I felt like I had to tell the truth.
You told him that you were together for 9 years, right?
We were.
But now you knew who Pedro was when you were talking to Officer Rodriguez. You didn't know who he was beforehand, right?
No.
You knew his address now, right?
Yeah.
You told him that Pedro was with his friends that night, right?
I did.
Okay. You told him that he was with friends that night, but you didn't tell him how Pedro got home, did you?
No.
Because you actually picked Pedro up, right?
I did.
You told Officer Rodriguez that Pedro was really flustered and wouldn't talk to you that night, right?
I did.
That he kept coming and going all night?
Yes.
But you never said that you were scared of him to Officer Rodriguez, right?
No.
You told Officer Rodriguez that you could hear him wailing and that's why you drove around, right?
Yes.